It's only 4 corners and 5/8 of a mile in length, but it's one of the most intense challenges for the drivers in the USF Pro Championships presented by Cooper Tires. It's the Carb Night Classic at the Indianapolis Raceway Park, the Freedom 75 and the Freedom 9. Hey, race fans, my name is Rob Howden. Great to be here at this fantastic facility. And we'll start with the driver who will begin the race on the pole into the Freedom 75. Matt Clark, come on, big qualifying run. How happy are you to roll off in P1 today?
I'm really excited to put it together and get on the pole with D-Force Racing. I mean, my first time here and turn left, too. So it was a good start to the weekend, just looking to close it out. 75 laps to go. Was
the testing times you had coming into the event indicative of what you thought you could get here?
100%. We were strong in testing, and I think we even have a better race car than we do a quali car, so we're feeling good.
One of the things we always talk about is you start on pole position, you drastically increase your opportunity of winning a race here. You want to get that first victory. What do you have to do to get it done today?
I think tonight's all about being consistent, not making mistakes, and holding my ground. Like you said, it's tough to pass here, so if I do a good job, then we should be worry-free.
Drivers in the Silver Crown cars were out before you guys, so when you do roll out for your race, there's going to be more grip level at the bottom. Is that something you and your engineers and coaches have talked about?
Yeah, you kind of watch the Silver Crown race, see what they're doing, and see what might work for your race, what's going to change from, say, morning warm-up to now. So it's definitely something we're looking at and looking to take advantage of it, too. You know, when you start coming up on that lap traffic, it's even tough to pass those guys. So, you know, have to be smart.
This is really 100% focus the entire time. Have you done a full 75-lap sim here yet?
I've done a race run, and it is a lot, man. You never get a break, right? 22-second lap, you never get a break. So stay focused mentally, take some deep breaths. That's the trick, I think.
Good luck today.
Thank you very much, Rob.
Matt Clark, the rookie here, but the driver beside me here, a big pole position for him. Fantastic run. He's run here before. Jack William Miller, you're the hometown boy, man. You're from Carmel. How important is it for you? I know being fast at Indianapolis Motor Speedway was big, but here at IRP, this has got to be huge for you as well.
Yes, it was so big for my team. We really needed this in my first oval pole, and just going out there and getting used to it and doing 2-lap runs and having the average and everything. It's a good simulation for what's coming up. I know next year I'll be in more ovals, and so this is a big boost for the Patterson car. And then I think going forward tonight we could make something happen.
Let's talk about the qualifying lap first, because I came in, I actually didn't see it when I was calling it. I heard you hit the wall twice. You were literally hanging it out.
Oh yeah, well I did it. My first lap was more than a tenth quicker than everybody else. And so that kind of saved me. And then on the second lap, I had a big moment, and it just snapped, and I caught it, but it wasn't enough. So I bounced off the wall and then bounced again. But when we came across the line, the average was good enough to keep us up there.
You've been part of this USF Pro Championship for a couple of years, so you have some oval experience. You're going to draw on that, of course. Starting from pole, though, give me your thoughts on how the first couple laps are going to play out.
Oh, I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm just excited for it. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to come down to lap traffic. I know we have a fast car, and I think we have the fastest car for sure. So, and coming back from the last 2 years, I've not been in a very quick car, so I've been back in the battles. So I think we'll be good for feeling good about the cars around me and everything, and being comfortable with getting close to them.
And we did a ton of testing, of course, on Thursday. You guys have done pre-race testing as well. Max said he has a good race car. You guys both have, of course, fast 2-lap cars. What's the race car like over the 90-lap distance?
Yeah, I mean, I think we did a 15-lap run in practice yesterday and ran all of our laps in qualifying speed. So I think it's a good race car, and I think we'll be able to. I'll send some meters down there.
It's going to be exciting, folks. Not only is Jack William Miller looking for his first win, so is Matt Clark. Both these drivers starting on the pole have yet to get that victory in the USF Pro Championships. This could be the day. It could be a Canadian and a local boy standing on top of the podium when all said and done. And there you have it, folks. The drivers in the USF 2000 category have rolled onto the racetrack. What a fantastic drive it was for Bobby Santos there in that Silver Crown main event. Great show. Tyler Rohrig rolling up big time in the back there as well. But we have our drivers here, 16 strong in USF 2000, lined up and ready to go. Once the front straightaway is cleared, we got lots more racing coming for you here. A couple of events on the USF Pro Championship. For those of you tuning in now to our live broadcast on the USF Pro Championships YouTube channel, or potentially on the mobile app, we say hello to you. We know we have people watching in from around the country, of course, around the world as well. A great field of racers here from, of course, Canada. We've talked about a number of Americans. We've got Lucky Hughes from Australia. We've got Mexican drivers as well. So a number of different international faces in this category, even more in the USF Pro 2000 event, which will cap it off. This is the Freedom 75. Again, the only oval for the drivers here in USF 2000. They're getting set to go. So let's have a look at the grid as 16 drivers ready to roll off here to get things underway for a 75 lapper around this 5/8 mile oval. Again, my name is Rob Howden. Great to be here at IRP. Row number 8 on the outside, Danny Dazelski, just 15 years of age, and the number 18 starting on the outside in the VRD machine. His teammate at VRD, Gordon Scully, in the number 19, starting on the inside of that row. Working our way now up to row number 7, Maxwell Jamison in the number 12 at Houston, Texas for D-Force Racing. His first time on an oval, first year as a rookie here in the USF 2000 category. He'll start 14th. And on the inside, out of Golden, Colorado for Exclusive Autosport in the number 91, one of our regular drivers of the USF Juniors program, the entry program, the first step into this USF Pro Championships. Joey Brienza in the number 91, starting in the 13th spot. Watch for Brienza to move forward, much more comfortable with his race car from qualifying through to the practice earlier today. Up now to row number 6 on the outside, just 14 years of age in the Advanced Auto Parts Pabst Racing, number 24 out of Florida. That is Max Garcia. Garcia starting 12th, but he was quickest in practice earlier this afternoon. I think he'll be a driver to watch coming through the field. And if you're an Indiana driver, we got a couple to cheer for here. This one out of Indianapolis, Indiana, in the Sarah Fisher Hardman Racing. Number 67, the drive planning machine, Elliot Cox, starting on the inside of row number 6. Going to the top 10 now. On the outside, another one of our Texans, Avery Towns, has shown good speed throughout these last couple of days. Rookie in the series, but he has really taken to this oval competition. Avery Towns in the number 93 for Exclusive Autosport, starting in 10th. Alongside Towns, another driver to watch for sure. Already a 2-time winner on the season. Second place in points coming in for Pabst Racing. Out of Georgia, it is the number 22 of Simon Sykes, starting in the 9th spot. Again, very quick in the afternoon warm-up. Row number 4, another one of the young drivers in the series, got his first win at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a graduate of our USF Juniors program. From Cornelius, North Carolina, Sam Corey for VRD Racing, starting in the number 14, outside of row number 4, P8. And on the inside from Mexico, it's George Garcia for D-Force Racing in the number 10. Row number 3 on the outside, another one of our drivers from the Indianapolis area, from Fortville, Indiana, for J. Howard Driver Development, Al Morey the 4th in the number 7, starting 6th position. And on the inside, all the way from Australia, but he's been living here in Indianapolis for the last couple of years, your point leader, 3 wins on the season, the Aussie Lucky Hughes for J. Howard Driver Development in that number 8 machine, starting in 5th. We'll go to row number 2 now. On the outside, 15th birthday was yesterday. Already a race winner on the season at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Keep an eye out for Nikita Johnson out of Florida in the VRD racing machine. What a talent he is. Johnson in the number 17, starting 4th. And on the inside, one of the easier cars to pick up on the racetrack, no doubt about it. It is the number 95 out of Prosper, Texas, Chase Gardner for Exclusive Autosport. He'll start his best position of the year on the inside of row number 2. 16 drivers in the field, 2 on the front row. Starting on the outside out of Loveland, Ohio for J. Howard Driver Development. It's been a great start to the season. Currently 4th in points. Evagores Papasavas in the number 6, starting on the outside of the front row. But from Milton, Ontario, Canada, our reigning USF Juniors champion. There's the scholarship colors. He took a bunch of money for the scholarship, over $220,000 to make this move up to USF 2000. Matt Clark for D-Force Racing, starting on the pole position. He will lead them into turn number 1. Again, Clark and Papasavas on row 1. Gardner and Johnson, row 2. Hughes and Morey, row 3. Garcia and Corey, row 4. Sykes and Towns cap off your top 10. Cox and Garcia, 2 drivers definitely to watch from row 6. Brienza and Jamison, row 7. And Scully and Dazelski on row number 8. Of course, as part of our USF Pro Championships, we have a great relationship with the good folks on the AMR IndyCar Safety Team, and we have a number of those individuals with us here. And, of course, they're taking a look around the racetrack after 146 laps of USAC Silver Crown action. Getting an opportunity just to check the track over a little bit so these drivers can get out here and get out. A 75 lapper for drivers in USF 2000. We'll follow it up with a 90 lapper, the Freedom 90 for the drivers in USF Pro 2000. All these cars, same engine from Elite Engines, built 170 horsepower. The chassis, Tatis chassis, the USF 22, built in Italy. All the drivers with the same chassis, same Cooper tires, a spec program. Really about the drivers and driver development. And they, again, are all chasing the scholarship to make that next move up into USF Pro 2000. If you win this program, the Discount Tire Scholarship Program, $433,000 is the prize to win the championship in USF 2000. You take that scholarship, you move to the Pro 2000 category from there. If you win Pro 2000, the prize, $664,000 to move to the Indy Next Series. At that point, you're just a couple of steps away from the Indianapolis 500. Looking forward to the big race, the greatest spectacle in racing, this coming Sunday. And the cool thing about that race, the 500, there's a number of drivers. If you've been coming out to the Carb Night Classic for a number of years, you got a chance to see drivers you'll see in the 500. They're here this weekend. Obviously, Kyle Kirkwood being one of the ones we talk about a lot. Devlin DeFrancesco, Renus VK, of course, as well. David Malukas. So many drivers that have come through running here at the Carb Night Classic, part of this USF Pro Championship, the program formerly known as the Road to Indy. Still, of course, presented by Cooper Tires, our valued partner. Discount Tire, again, a brand new partner for us, the official tire retailer of the USF Pro Championships. Skip Barber Racing School is the official racing school of our program as well. Part of the scholarship program to a certain extent as well. If you run the Skip Barber Formula Series, you win that. It's a $100,000 scholarship to move up to USF Juniors in 2024. And if you like what you see here, again, you can download the USF Pro Championships app, get a chance to watch all of our races online. You can always watch as well at the USF Pro Championships YouTube channel or any of the series websites as well, usf2000.com, usfjuniors.com, and usfpro2000.com. Great crowd here tonight. Really, we couldn't ask for better weather. We've had times, as you all know, where it's rained, we've waited it out, we've gotten late, we've had to maybe go the next day, but absolutely perfect late May weather. Up into the high 70s, 71 degrees here now. I think it was a high of about 77. Not a cloud in the sky. Perfect weather for an awesome Friday night short track show. Kudos to the midget drivers and the Silver Crown drivers for putting on a show there as well. Excited to fire things up for these young drivers. Anywhere from 14 to about 23 years of age on the grid here for USF 2000. We'll see which driver is going to put a Freedom 75 victory on their resume. Driver we'll see in the next race, USF Pro 2000, has really dominated this race for the last couple of years. Michael D'Orlando, who runs for Turn 3 Motorsports this year in Pro 2000, won the USF 2000 championship last year, and also back-to-back wins in 2021 and 2022 in the Freedom 75. He knows how to get around this bad, fast 5/8 mile oval. Who will show it today? Matt Clark with a tremendous qualifying run to put himself P1. You look at the stats over the last number of years, you qualify P1, you're giving yourself a fantastic chance to win. We don't have, I think we went through USF 2000, the furthest anybody's come forward is 6th position. Again, we've got some fast guys outside of the top 6. Simon Sykes in 9th, Max Garcia in 12th, Elliot Cox 11th. Those drivers could dial things in and set a record for deepest start spot for a race win. First, second, or third, normally where it comes from. So you got to lay it out for Matt Clark, Evagoras Papasavas, and Chase Gardner. So many of these young drivers, of course, coming through the karting ranks. There's a lot of fantastic racetracks, kart tracks in the state of Indiana. 2 of them right here, really in Indianapolis. One, of course, Newcastle Motorsports Park, and a fantastic track. The oldest continually running kart track in North America, Whiteland Raceway Park, down in Whiteland, owned by Sarah Fisher and Andy O'Gara. They have poured a ton of money into that track. It is a jewel for karting in Indiana and truly in the USA as well. And it is going to continue to develop great drivers as they work their way up here into the USF Pro Championship and potentially into the USAC program as well. Firing things up, folks. The engine's coming to life on pit lane. Again, 170 horsepower. They're going to run that high line. We'll see whether or not all that rubber being put down by the Silver Crown cars are going to give these guys a chance to use that low groove. It's a high line race, but man, when you get into lap traffic, as we know, we saw it in the Silver Crown race, you got to get at it. You got to get aggressive. Lockie Hughes, as I said, coming in. Point leader by 14 markers over Simon Sykes. Drivers lighting them up here. 3 wins on the season for Lockie Hughes. 1 each at the 3 events. He's won at St. Petersburg, Sebring, and Indianapolis. Can Lockie Hughes keep that streak alive? Simon Sykes still coming from deeper in the field, as we know. Started all the way back in 9th. Needs a big run here, but he was really good in testing all day yesterday. Just didn't get a good qualifying run. So field is rolling. Our USF Pro 2000 drivers back in the pit area, getting themselves strapped in, ready to go. We've had good success with clean races out of these USF 2000 drivers. Great shot down the back straightaway there. Again, for those of you watching at home, I'm sure a bunch of race fans for Lockie Hughes down in Australia. I don't know if you're up early or staying up late, but thanks. I'm sure he loves it. Couple of warm-up laps. They'll go 2 by 2 down the back straightaway. Mac Clark and Evagoras Papasabas front row. D-Force Racing, Jay Howard driver development. Tail of the field coming into position. 75 laps of racing. Set to go here at Indianapolis Raceway Park, the USF Pro Championships and USF 2000 out of 4. And we are green, green, green. Solid start. Clark to the very top of the racetrack. Papa Savas is going to go down to the bottom. Clark going to try to hold. Good run for Nikita Johnson. He'll go to P4. We're 3 wide coming out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Big run. Further deep in the field. One driver getting off it. Look at Elliot Cox to the bottom of the racetrack. Cox making it 3 wide. Out front, Papa Savas right there on Clark. Good little fight potentially here for P4 as well, as that is Nikita Johnson, Chase Gardner, and Lockie Hughes, your point leader. Simon Sykes gets a couple of spots on the opening circuit. He'll go up to P2. Sykes attacking. Cox gets a good move there. He gets by Garcia Arce. So Elliot Cox pushing the drive planning Tatis. Nice run for Cox early. This is where you got to be smart though and settle in. Don't make the mistake of overcooking it. Clark and Papasabas out to the lead. This is where you don't want to burn those tires off. You got the lead. Just cruise a bit here now. Nikita Johnson runs in 3rd, Gardner 4th, Hughes 5th, Sam Corey up into 6th spot. What a great start to this race. Everybody settling. A couple of 2 by 2s a little further back. You can see Gardner there trying to close back up here on Nikita Johnson. There's that pack further back, 2 wide. Yeah, these guys are getting after it. They're right behind the 7 of Al Moore. That's Sykes and Towns, Cox and Garcia. Towns is going to cruise up in front of Cox and make Cox get a better run out of the corner, and a huge run down the back straightaway for Elliot Cox. He'll put it down to the bottom. High side's a little better. He's got to keep it down there. Just Towns on top. Cox is going to get the job done, I believe, this time through. No, look at it. Towns holding the top side. Cox trying to get the bottom now to get another one. He's going to see if he can't go by Sam Corey. Look at this fight. There's Gardner looking to the inside as well. Chase Gardner, side by side. He is to the inside of Nikita Johnson. Oh, wiggle in the middle, and he holds it. Handful of race car for Chase Gardner. Man, this track just gives so much exciting racing. Thinking about 3 wide, a little bit further back. Nope. There's your lead right now. And there's Gardner again, side by side with the 17. Max Garcia rolling his way up here as well. I think he might potentially was able to get by Sam Corey. We'll try to pick up where Garcia is. He's actually by Avery Towns now. So Garcia, the driver, on the move here as well. Clark, your leader. Papasabas second. Gardner has been able to take 3rd back from Nikita Johnson. Lockie Hughes runs in 5th. 6th, Morey. 7th, Sykes. 8th, Cox. 9th, Garcia. 10th is Towns. Driver's doing a great job here right now, just early into a 75 lapper. And again, 100% concentration for 75 laps. Clark across the start finish, looking pretty good here now. Got to be happy with where he's rolling. There it is, the Canadian Matt Clark hitting the marks for D-Force Racing out front. All good so far for the USF Juniors champion from last year. Starting to get a little darker here now. Drivers trying some different lines around this racetrack to see whether or not the grip level came up a little bit potentially with the Silver Crown cars being out there. Clark down the back chute, building that gap. You can be sure that his spotter is right there with him, telling him exactly what to do. There's Cox, Garcia as well. Max Garcia having a pretty solid run right now. Remember, started much deeper in the field. Yellow flag. We have a driver who has come to a stop down the back straightaway into the pit lane entry on the back chute. That looks like, I think that's the number 18 of Dzelski. So trouble for Danny Dzelski in the 18, and that big lead for Matt Clark. 1.6 seconds goes bye-bye. Stack them and repack them. And it's Matt Clark as the leader. He led the first 12 laps. Evagoras Papasavas in second. Chase Gardner third. Nikita Johnson in fourth position. Lockie Hughes in fifth. Sixth spot is Al Morey. Seventh, Simon Sykes. Eighth, Elliot Cox. Cox from 11th to 8th. Right behind him, Max Garcia from 12th to 9th. So a 3-position improvement for both of those drivers. Avery Town started 10th, runs 10th. George Garcia in 11th. Sam Corey 12th. Joey Brienza 13th. 14th, Maxwell Jamison. 15th, Gordon Scully. And 16th, Danny Dzelski. So just an issue, some kind of a mechanical for Dzelski. He slows down the back straightaway. This is not going to take long before we're back to green flag racing at all. They'll get him towed to his pit, and they'll see if they can't potentially fire him back up. Always trying to get as much time as possible. So Matt Clark, back to pace car speed. And again, that 1.6 second lead that he had gone. But he'll be pretty happy, I think, with the ability that he had to stretch that lead out a little bit, cool the tires down a bit here now. And again, he'll be the guy that's able to punch off. He's going to get that opportunity to pull away. He was side by side, of course, with Papasavas at the start. Papasavas put a lot of pressure on him. But now Clark's going to be able to be that. He'll get that element of surprise, whether it's a split second, whatever it may be. But he'll be the first driver on the power. He'll be the first guy rolling into the high side of turn one. So I don't see Papasavas being able to get enough of a draft at the straightaway, especially on the restart, to take that position away. So right now, Clark looks pretty good. Again, the biggest movers here were Elliot Cox and Max Garcia, both drivers up 3 in this first stint, 15 laps down. 60 laps still to go. Fastest lap, Chase Gardner, 22.596 for the Texan. Lap number 9, laid one down. He actually got challenged and got passed by Nikita Johnson, but Chase put his head back down, went in at him, got to the inside, took a couple of laps as it normally does, but got right at it. Pace car on the throttle, into the pit lane, back to the hands of Matt Clark in the D-Force Racing number 1, the scholarship car. USF Juniors champion from 2022. Gets himself into the restart zone. And Clark on the power. Again, he'll jump a length on Papasavas. Now back to running the high side. 2 by 2 to Nikita Johnson trying to get an advantage on the bottom. Let's see if he holds. Gardner needs to get that big run out if he wants to hold him back. As down to the bottom goes Nikita Johnson. Side by side through 3 and 4. Hold your breath. Good run on the outside though for Gardner. Tires might not quite have been up to temperature enough after the cool down there for Nikita. But Nikita Johnson, this kid literally just turned 15 years of age yesterday, and he is mature beyond his years. I'm telling you that. That's a name you're going to want to watch here. Nikita Johnson, won in his hometown of St. Petersburg, lives right in nearby Gulfport, scored that big win at the start of the season. He'll be battling for championships all the way up the ranks. Only 15 years of age now. We're keying in on this fight here as well. One of the Jay Howard cars, I think that might be Al Morey, potentially going at it, trying to get by Simon Sykes. Sykes, of course, has got Lockheed Hughes. Yeah, Simon Sykes in a sandwich of Jay Howard driver development cars. That's, what, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Sykes in that 22 Pabst racing machine. He can't go to work. That's really one of the championship battles right there. They're running 5th and 6th right now, but they're 1st and 2nd in points. Lockheed Hughes and Simon Sykes. Sykes really does need to go to work here. Simon Sykes does not want to lose any more points. It's a 14-point advantage already for Lockheed Hughes after the first 7 races of the season. Nikita Johnson, 41 back. Papasavas, 79 back. And Corey, 91 back. A victory here for Matt Clark would be big. And here's the side-by-side run. This is Cox and Garcia. They started on the same row. This is 8th and 9th. And Garcia trying to use the bottom part of the racetrack. Garcia just 14 years of age. Cox only 15. I think he's 15, maybe 16 now. Cox, we're using that top line, though. Understand the car's a lot better up there. It's not as twitchy. You're not working those Cooper tires quite as much. You run that bottom line for too many laps, and you are punishing the Coopers. Sykes is closed up there, I believe, yeah. Simon Sykes now going to work on Lockheed Hughes. 1st and 2nd in the points. Just ahead of them, Nikita Johnson, the VRD driver. 4 different teams in the top 4 right now. D-Force, Jay Howard, Exclusive Autosport, VRD Racing. And this is Sykes working the bottom on Lockheed Hughes, and it's a slide. Ho-ho! Simon Sykes, the veteran driver in this field full of rookies. He is working the bottom of the racetrack. He has got quick hands. And he's going to see if he can't finish this slide job. Dives it into the corner. Lets it ride up a little bit. Use the racetrack, and he does. Simon Sykes, book it. Through in turn number 3, Sykes goes to P5. Simon Sykes started 9th, up to 5th. Lockheed Hughes trying to go back down to the bottom. Let's see if Sykes is better on the top. Can he run the top side? Car looks pretty good, both those drivers. Let's see Lockheed Hughes at the bottom. Does he get any kind of oversteer? No, he's holding that bottom pretty good. Whoa. 1st and 2nd in points. Trying to be smart. Long way to Portland, Labor Day weekend, finale. And again, Sykes running the top side. Lockheed Hughes, look at this great side-by-side battle for P5. Sykes trying to complete it. Took a bunch of laps to get it done. Now can he put his head down and try to reel in Nikita Johnson? Up front, it's Matt Clark, Papasavas, and Gardner. But Simon Sykes, the driver on the move right now. The number 22 of Simon Sykes out of Atlanta, Georgia. Lives now in Augusta. And this battle side-by-side continuing between Cox and Garcia as well. Wow. 8th and 9th. Garcia trying to get it done. Cox not giving it up. Garcia, a big mid-corner wiggle. Woo. I'm sure that one caught him out a little bit. And again, unlike the road courses these drivers will normally run, where you know, give the mind a little bit of a break, give your hands a bit of a break, give the whole body a break on these long straightaways. Not here at IRP. This is 100% focus from green to checker. You can see Garcia, pretty good grip on the bottom. Lots of forward bite coming on the bottom out of turn number 2. May be able to get it done this time, but Cox mid-corner's a lot better. And they're again side by side. Now this is an issue here for Garcia. Cox is taking care of the tires. It's not hurting his tires at all. But Garcia could be punishing those tires a bit. We'll see how that plays out. We're not even at the halfway point here. 31 laps down. It'll be 32 when Matt Clark gets back around here. He's built the gap up to 2 seconds. Both these drivers here are just waiting for one of them to make a bit of a mistake. And Garcia running cleanly in the bottom. 2 weeks ago at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, an incident saw Garcia get into the back of Max Taylor, one of our USF Juniors drivers, launch over top of Taylor and essentially crest the top of Cox's halo. A very scary incident. The halo most definitely saving Elliott from some injury. But these two drivers spent a lot of time together at Indianapolis. 8th and 9th, battling it out like they're going for the lead at the 500. But this is where you learn it, folks. Before you get to the 500, this is where you learn side by side. Let's come back to another battle here. I think that's Avery Towns on the top side, and I believe below him, that'll be George Garcia-Arce. So Towns trying to go to work on Garcia-Arce. This would be for 10th. And Avery Towns, who has been a rookie to the series, coming out of SCCA, Formula X, and Formula Mazda Racing, has really been, I would say, one of the most improved drivers on the season so far. So impressive. And is really getting a good feel for the oval here as well. Trying the top side on Garcia-Arce, but not quite enough. We got some really good battles. How about the one for the lead? Is that the leader? Is this? No, this is, I think, is a lap car. I believe this is Clark going around Maxwell Jamison. I thought we might have had a battle for the lead, but no, it's 1.5 seconds back to Papa Savas. This is now Nikita Johnson and Simon Sykes for 4th. Got some great one-on-one battles here. Sykes has been so good. P4 move potentially for Sykes as he's trying to close back up in the championship chase. Sykes to the bottom of the racetrack. Nice low exit at turn number 4. You can see how nervous that car is mid-corner, but he's working it. Sykes coming forward. Past the halfway point now. Actually, one more lap. We'll see 38 down. And 37 to go. 75 lapper. Oh, a little trouble there for Sykes. Had to pedal it. Gave Johnson a little more time. Again, Sykes to the bottom. He's got a faster car. There's no doubt about it. He's just got to get by. If he gets by, he's gone. He's just trying to get the job done, and there's a good little mid-corner run. Johnson didn't go quite as high. Trying to take the air off the front wing a bit. Again, look at this. Nikita, yeah, he's pinching down a little bit. Nikita trying to run more of a defensive line on the entries. Al Morey right there with Lockie Hughes, his teammate as well. Al Morey running in 7th, Hughes 6th. I think Simon Sykes would be going back to get some fresh air on that front wing, cool those tires off a little bit. There's Elliott Cox. He's been able to pull away a bit from that fight with Garcia. So indeed, Matt Clark, the driver up front, working his way through lap traffic. There he is there. Clark in the D-Force Racing #1. All part of the learning curve for these young drivers in the USF Pro Championship. And again, this USF 2000 program, the middle rung of the USF Pro Championships. You start in USF Juniors. If you're a young driver, you go to the Skip Barber Racing School in the Formula Car Series. Then you move up into USF Juniors, then to USF 2000, then Pro 2000, which we'll see next. And learning how to deal with lap traffic is crucial. Clark now with open racetrack now. Matt Clark looking for his first win of 2024. I'd mentioned at the start of the broadcast that he was looking for his first win, of course, of 2023 rather, because he won last Labor Day weekend at Portland in a one-off. But looking to get that first win of the year here. That went at the end of last year. He was kind of a fact-finding mission, getting a chance to try the USF 2000, knowing he was moving into a full campaign this year. But he hasn't got that win yet against these drivers here this year. It's coming. Could be tonight. We've had a Canadian win here at the Carb Night Classic before in the Freedom 75. That was Parker Thompson with Exclusive Autosport. Is Matt Clark the next Canadian winner of the Freedom 75? Long way to go still. 30 laps remaining. 30 to go. Back to the fight here between Cox and Garcia. Race-long scrap. But let's be real. They're closing up on Al Mori and Lucky Hughes as well. I know that Garcia wants to get by, but if they work together a little bit more, they may find themselves with an opportunity to battle for not just where they are on the racetrack now, 8th and 9th, but maybe 6th and 7th. Because they're closing up right there. That's Al Mori. It's Mori in front of Cox. Cox, obviously, that car's so easy to pick up on the racetrack. It's Mori in front of him, and then Lucky Hughes, your point leader. So a 14-point lead for Lucky Hughes. Simon Sykes is moving right now. He's got an opportunity to kind of make up some points here. Sykes running in that 4th spot. Put him right at 200 points. Hughes now running 6th. He'd be at 208. Get it down to 8 points. But we're not done here yet, because again, Cox and Garcia are coming on strong here on Mori and potentially Lucky Hughes. The Cooper Tires Freedom 75 here at IRP. Awesome run thus far. Just a single caution for the issue with Danny Dzelski coming to a stop on the pit lane entry. Unsafe position on the racetrack. Had to go yellow. Didn't take long to get him back to his pits. Went back to green flag racing. Matt Clark handling that restart. Papa Saba still really running strongly right now in 2nd. He's, 4 seconds up on Chase Gardner, who's another 1.5 seconds up on Simon Sykes, who has got by Nikita Johnson. So Simon Sykes to 4th. Now look at this gaggle of cars. As Cox in the 67 and Garcia in the number 24 closing up. They're going to try to get by Al Mori. He's trying to go to the bottom of Maxwell Jamison. So this is where lap cars start to play a role. Garcia looking to see if he can't set a pick on Cox. Cox has got to get down. You do not want to get caught up behind the slower car. And that's what's happened. Cox is going to try to run the high side. And Cox got pick. Yeah, Garcia stayed to the bottom. Cox needed to get to the bottom in turn number 3. So move Garcia now up into 8th position. Maxwell Jamison running his line as you're supposed to. Right there as well is Joey Brienza, I believe. He's running 13th. Cox able to go to the bottom on him. Quick rundown, full field rundown here on lap number 53. Clark the leader. Papasavas runs 2nd. Gardner 3rd. Sykes and Johnson 4th and 5th. 6th is Lucky Hughes. 7th Al Mori. 8th now Max Garcia. 9th is Elliot Cox. 10th is Jorge Garcia. 11th is Avery Towns. 12th is Sam Corey. 13th Joey Brienza. 14th Maxwell Jamison. 15th Gordon Scully. And a retiree on lap number 9, Danny Dzelski out of the race. Elliot Cox puts his head back down, but again, you saw the pressure we saw from Simon Sykes working his way by Nikita Johnson. Once he was by, he was able to get away. Sykes now has a 1.5 seconds, I believe, on Johnson. One of the Jay Howard driver development cars down the back straightaway. I think that might, so hard to pick up the numbers. I think that's Al Mori in the 7. A lot of open race. Yeah, that's Al Mori out of Fortville, Indiana. Having a good run here in 7th position. Al Mori coming off a rough weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, because started things off with a 7th in race number 1, then had a couple issues, 17th and 13th in race 2 and 3. Great bounce back. for Maury, who of course wants to be good here at one of the hometown races. And if he's able to get by his teammate Lockheed Hughes, what a kind of confidence booster that would be. He's got a good hot rod. So does that guy right there, Matt Clark. It is working for Mac right now. Up on the high side of the racetrack, taking care of the Coopers. 57 laps down. 18 laps to go for Clark. USF Pro 2000 up next. And it's smooth sailing right now for Matt Clark up front. Full advantage of that pole position he got in qualifying. Clark keeping that car up nice and tidy. In fact, he's got the fastest lap time, 22.4, but that came back on lap number 22. Simon Sykes was a couple laps ago, 22.6. I think Simon Sykes may be the fastest driver on the racetrack right now. Last time by 22.7. And there, oh, here's a battle as well. What do we got going here? That's Chase Gardner. And he's battling with Simon Sykes to try to go to P3. Gardner's going to throw it to the bottom of the track. That's what you have to do. He did not want to get caught up behind that car, and he went down to the bottom. Sykes had to bail out of it. Gardner may have just saved third spot for himself right there, because he's going to be able to try to use the high side to pull away, because Simon Sykes, as I said, one of the fastest drivers on the racetrack right now. 15 to go. Gardner trying to get on the podium in third. Chase Gardner comes into the day 9th in points right now. His best finish on the season, the 5th at Sebring. Love to be on the podium. The driver from Prosper, Texas for Exclusive Autosport. Did a one-off last year at Indianapolis on the road course. Putting together a full-time program here with Exclusive. And look at this, big move to the bottom there for Sykes, trying to get the grip in the bottom. Clean air over the wings, keep the car in the rear mirrors of the drivers in front of you. Sykes looks really good. Gardner does not want to give it up at all, though. I just don't know if he's going to be able to hold him back. Sykes looks like he's got the best hot rod here right now. Again, to the bottom of the track. Right to the inside. And looking to try to finish it coming out here. And he does, I believe. Not quite yet. Gardner trying to hold him off. Still a great run here for Chase Gardner. He's going to keep the top side. Gardner. You can get grip up there. That's the fast way around. Got to be on the power. Got to trust the car. A solid run for Chase. Holding off Simon. What a battle. Not wanting to give it up at all. Laps winding down. Oh, they're so close coming through two. Look at this fight. Veteran driver in Simon Sykes. Two-time SCCA Runoffs national champion. Part of the Team USA Scholarship Program. Many starts, but never a full-time ride with a top team. This is Sykes' opportunity. Battling with a young rookie here. And he does not want to give it up. Gardner still on the top side. Great racing out of both of these young guys. Wow. 10 laps to go. Can Gardner keep him pinned down? Look how close they are. Oh, man. This is tremendous stuff. Both these drivers giving each other just enough room. Gardner trying to keep Sykes pinned to the bottom. Work those tires. Work Sykes' tires. It's going to take one slip up. Sykes has got good. Oh, does he inch a bit here? No, again, mid-corner. He had to get out of it a bit. Little mid-corner. Drop the wheel below. Gardner still holding the spot. This is classic USF 2000 racing at IRP. It's been happening here like this for 3 decades. So many great drivers have won here. And this is a great look at these both cars wiggling mid-corner. Car control. Oh, man. And Sykes, I think, finally able to get it done, trying to go back to the top. Gardner, I think, just doesn't have it. Sykes has gone to P3. This is going to be huge for the championship, too, as they run on the racetrack. Sykes would have 204 points. Lockheed Hughes in 6, 208. As they run on the racetrack, the point lead leaving this race would be just 4 points for Lucky Hughes. And back to this scrap. As the laps wind down, Max Garcia able to get by Al Mori, so move Max Garcia to 7th. Remember, Garcia started back in 12th. He's up 5 spots. That's Gordon Scully, a lap car in front of Garcia now. He'll go to the bottom. Scully's done a great job running his line. Maury trying to see if he can't capitalize still. Cox right back there as well in 9th. Elliott started 11th up to 9th. He's had a good run. Solid day for Elliott Cox. Good experience on the oval. Maury going back to the bottom. He ain't done. 4 laps to go, though, for Matt Clark. This one's almost done. The Canadian trying to bring home his first win of 2023. Backing up that big victory. After winning the championship in USF Juniors and the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, put together a program to run with D-Force Racing at Portland for the series finale weekend of USF 2000. Came away with a victory. Has not yet got that win in 2023, but this could be the day. He'll 3 laps to go for Clark. He's got some lap drivers in front of him, but really nobody behind him. Evagoras Papasavas. Evagoras has just had a good run in second. Journeyman day. Didn't have anything for the leader, but holding strong. Look at his fight further back as well. I believe they're trying to come around to get by Avery Towns. This is a scrap. Back to Clark. He'll work his way to the top side. Scully goes to the bottom. White flag flying this time by. One more lap. The family back in Milton is going to be pumped. A lot of racers in this family. And Clark looking to win on the oval. This will be big for the championship battle for him as well. Down the back straightaway. Just a couple of quarters to go. And the winner of the 2023 Freedom 75 is Matt Clark for D-Force Racing. The Canadian wins. The victory by over 4.5 seconds from Papasavas. It actually goes down to 3.5 as he cruised over the final circuit. What a battle throughout the field, but not for the race win. Matt Clark dominated the action. Wow. 3.7 was the final margin. Matt Clark, Evagoras Papasavas, and Simon Sykes goes to P3. Remember, Sykes started 9th, up 6. What a drive for Simon Sykes. And an incredible run as well for Chase Gardner as he ends up in 4th, Nikita Johnson 5th. And down to the victory lane here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park, Matt Clark. I think he was supposed to potentially bring it into pit lane. Someone's got to jump out and tell him to come back to pit lane. I think he's going to refire it. He saw what the midget and the Silver Crown cars guys did. He figured that's where he was going. Clark will refire that machine, I believe, and bring it back around pit lane so we can get things underway here. Wow. That's just a great run. Yeah, he'll refire it. So Clark with the win, 3.7 seconds up. Evagoras Papasavas ends up in 2nd. Simon Sykes, as I said, a great drive to 3rd. Chase Gardner, impressive all day long. Finishes 4th. Nikita Johnson, P5. Lucky Hughes in 6th spot. Max Garcia in 7th. Al Mori ends up in 8th. 9th was Elliott Cox in 10th. George Garciarce. Avery Towns, 11th. Sam Corey, 12th. Maxwell Jamison, 13th. Joey Brienza in 14th spot. Gordon Scully in 15th. And Danny Dzelski, the issue, as we said, on lap number 9. Only the one yellow flag for Dzelski, who pulled off the racetrack. Otherwise, almost another green to checker race. 4 in a row, essentially, just 1 yellow for USF 2000. So impressive. And Clark this time will bring it into pit lane. We'll do that, these victory celebrations from pit lane. We'll bring our USF Pro drivers out here. What a drive there for Matt Clark. He'll be pumped with that one for sure. Indeed, folks, out of the car. There he is, Matt Clark. Give him a round of applause, folks. What a great drive. The young Canadian. Big victory. Green to checker, did not put a wheel wrong. This will be one that he'll remember for the rest of his career. Big victory for the crew as well from D-Force Racing. David Martinez, Ernesto Martinez. I know that Mac's dad, Stu Clark here, I believe. Getting some kudos there from Simon Sykes as well. Augie Paps as well, giving him a shout out. Yeah, he'll be happy with that for sure. Great opportunity for this young driver. Have a little bit of celebrations down there as well, of course. I think I saw the victory podium getting rolled into position. Not quite sure where it is at this point. More racing, of course, still to come with USF Pro 2000. Those drivers ready to go at it. Simon Sykes having a quick chat. They got to get out of the cars and get themselves weighed as well. Minimum weight, of course, for all the categories. And there's Evagoras Papasavas as well. P2. Big for Papasavas. It'll move him a little closer. Papasavas, Johnson, Sykes, Clark, all moving up, closing up on the leader. Lockie Hughes, who ended up finishing in 6th position. Lockie started 5th, finished 6th. The only guy that was able to get by him was Simon Sykes. Great show for Simon. Going to P3. He'll be pleased with that, starting as deep as he did back in 9th. 6th position improvement for Simon Sykes. Indeed, here comes that podium. Love it. Clark, Papasavas, and Sykes will be part of this celebration. First victory on the season for Matt Clark, who won the USF Juniors program last year. Victor, as I said, at Portland International Raceway. Season finale last year in the category. Great job for the young Canadian driver. Again, as I said, last time we had a Canadian win here at IRP in this category was Parker Thompson, I believe, a number of years ago. I want to say maybe 2017, top of my head. Number of people coming down to, of course, give their well wishes to Matt Clark, the media down there as well. Get a chance to get some quotes. We'll get things underway with our podium presentation. Again, we'll have the drivers in the Pro 2000 category. They're actually rolling out of the back gate right now to get themselves out here. 90 lapper for these drivers, but remember, 50 more laps, but 80 more horsepower too. Way more downforce. These guys are going to haul the mail around this track. Once we do get things dialed in for our podium presentations for the top 3 of the Cooper Tires Freedom 75, a couple of our guests, or one of our guests from Discount Tire is going to help us out, pass some trophies out here today. There's Jay Howard, of course, former USF 2000 champion, former Indy Next champion, former multi-time Indianapolis 500 starter, the team owner for Jay Howard Driver Development, chatting with his young charge, Evagoras Papasavas, who has been so impressive out of the gate this year. Indeed, the Pro 2000 cars rolling up here onto the front straightaway. Big field in this category. I'm telling you, it's been awesome this year in this class. 18 drivers. Biggest field we've had here at a Carb Night Classic event, Freedom 90, in many, many years. Getting things dialed in down there to get underway, pass some hardware out, spray a little champagne, and fire things up for the drivers in Pro 2000. Again, all the drivers will tell you that when they get to the NTT IndyCar Series, they remember back when they were running in USF 2000 or USF Pro 2000, remembering those days, whether it's a Kyle Kirkwood or Renus VK, Devlin DiFrancesco, of course, one of the drivers. He ran in the Pro 2000 class a couple years ago. It's a special night, obviously, as you guys all know. What a great Hoosier 100 that was. A lot of fans down by the fence now, shouting out to their favorite drivers. A couple of Indiana drivers in this particular race coming up here as well. One starting on the pole, Jack William Miller. We'll go through the full grid before we roll things up here, but a little further back to Jackson Lee as well, out of Avon, Indiana. We are looking to get things rolling with our drivers here. Got to wrangle them up and get them over to the stage. That's one of the things we deal with all the time. They're chatting away with their coaches, family, team owners. Think we're getting close. Let's see the drivers get themselves back on the other side of the podium here, and we'll get things underway. Again, top 3 drivers will get introduced onto the podium to get their awards. And again, big points, again, points and a half for this particular weekend. So I think it looks like we're maybe ready to go. Just waiting for the high sign from down on pit lane so we can get things underway. I think we're almost ready. Yeah, there we go. All right, folks, let's get things underway. Let's go down to Victory Lane and get things underway. We'll start with the driver coming home in 3rd place today from Pabst Racing. A round of applause for number 22, Simon Sykes. Simon finishing P3 from 9th to present him with his 3rd place trophy. Frank Skreck from Anderson Promotions. 9th place start up to 3rd. What a drive for Simon Sykes. And if he ends up going on a championship run, this is one that will most definitely he'll remember for sure. Then we'll move, folks, to the driver coming home in 2nd spot, Evagoras Papasavas. Great job for Evagoras. And one of our guests from Discount Tire, Sean Christian, will present him with his 2nd place trophy. What a battle further back in the pack. These 2 drivers had it kind of easy, the 1st and 2nd. And let's get this driver on the podium. Folks, his first win of 2023. Give it up for the winner today for D-Force Racing, Mac Clark. What a drive for Mac up front. And Sean Christian again will do the honors of presenting him with his first P1 trophy of the season. USF Juniors champion last year. And the Canadian motorsport community will be cheering for this young driver as he gets the victory. Great drive. Getting ready to line things up, as we said, for the drivers here in USF Pro 2000. Celebrations, of course, continuing down on pit lane. Those drivers pretty happy about it. We'll get the Discount Tire hats in there. Simon Sykes cutting into the point lead of Lockie Hughes, and he'll be thrilled with that. I think I want to say it's around 4 points now between 1st and 2nd as we look forward to an event at Road America in a few weeks. Matt Clark going to definitely jump himself closer, and Evagoras Papasavas with 4th coming in will gain some points on Lockie Hughes. Everybody did as Lockie finished back in 6th. Still a good run for Lockie Hughes, but tightens things up here as we go to the midway point of the season, heading to Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 3 drivers you could see on the grid of the Indianapolis 500 in a couple of years. One more time, folks, a round of applause. The winner today, Matt Clark, coming home in 2nd. Evagoras Papasavas and Simon Sykes rounding out the top 3. So indeed, a little excitement there. Matt Clark jumping out there. Again, the thrill of victory, right, folks? It's just, you think about these young drivers, and again, they're watching the drivers who have been here before. You know, they're watching the Kyle Kirkwoods. They're watching the guys that have been here before and have won and have been able to make their way to the NTT IndyCar Series. That's the dream of these drivers. And when you can get a victory like the one here in the Freedom 75, when you're part of the, you know, the 4 winners. There's only 4 winners of the Carb Night Classic, and we've already got 3 of them now, Matt Clark being one of them. Again, donning that Canadian flag. First time we've seen that on the podium here in 2023. Of course, the drivers, as I said, getting set to go in USF Pro 2000. Matt Clark continuing his celebration. Let's take the opportunity to have a look at this grid as Matt continues to have some fun here. 18 drivers set to go for USF Pro 2000 in the Cooper Tires Freedom 90. Starting in the 18th spot outside of row number 9. It's going to be the number 19 of Jordan Missing. Watch for him to move his way forward as well. Very quick on the opening lap of qualifying. Spun on lap number 2. Backed into the wall. But that opening lap, if he paired it up with something even close, he would have been top 3, maybe pole. So Missing's got a lot of speed in that Pabst Racing machine. Alongside him, starting in the 17th spot from J. Howard Driver Development, it's Reese Ushijima in the number 6. Row number 8 now on the outside, the young lady out of California, the number 93 of Lindsay Brewer in the C4 Smart Energy exclusive Autosport machine. She's been finding speed all week long, and look for Lindsay to get in there and have a good run. Alongside her teammate Yuvan Sundaramurthy, who picked up a bunch of speed in the exclusive Autosport S-Team car in practice earlier today. I think Sundaramurthy's got a car that could drive it into the top 10. Row number 7 will have Bajoy Garg on the outside in the number 7 for D-Force Racing. And on the inside, it's been a great weekend for the driver out of Brazil, the Neotech Motorsport number 81, Nicolas Monteiro, starting in 13th. Row number 6, we'll see the Mexican Ricardo Escoto, a winner on the road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway just a couple of weeks ago. The J. Howard Driver Development driver in the number 4, starting 12th. And on the inside, a former USF 2000 champion, Kiko Porto, out of Brazil, and the number 12 for D-Force Racing, starting in 11th. We'll go now into the top 10 on the outside from Avon, Indiana. Local boy, folks, for Turn 3 Motorsports. The 47 is Jackson Lee. Jackson Lee, starting 10th. Inside of that row from Illinois for TJ Speed in the number 32, it's Christian Weir. Weir and Lee on row number 5. All the way from Ireland on the outside of row number 4 for Turn 3 Motorsports, Jonathan Brown in the number 2. And we already saw one USF Pro Championship Scholarship winner win today. Will we see another? He's won the last 2 USF 2000 races. Can Michael D'Orlando to Hartsdale, New York, go 3 for 3? The number 1 for Turn 3 Motorsports, starting in 7th. Row number 3 now on the outside, Jace Denmark out of Scottsdale, Arizona, one of the championship contenders last year in USF 2000. He'll start 6th, the number 20 for Pabst Racing. Alongside his Pabst Racing teammate, flying those Force Indy colors, Miles Rowe out of Brooklyn, New York, in the number 99, your point leader coming into the weekend. It'll be Rowe and Denmark on row 3. Up to row number 2, definitely international. Italy and Mexico on the outside. Francesco Pizzi in the number 55 for TJ Speed. And on the inside from Mexico, Salvador de Alba for exclusive Autosport, starting in 3rd. 18 drivers in the field, 2 on the front row. It's been a Swedish invasion, folks, in the NTT IndyCar Series. Marcus Ericsson, Felix Rosenqvist. Will Joel Grandforce be the next driver to work his way into IndyCar? He'll start on the outside of the front row, the Swede in the number 92 for exclusive Autosport. But if you want a local winner, here's where you got to start. On the pole position for the Freedom 90 out of Carmel, Indiana, in the Patterson Dental, number 40 Miller Vinatieri Motorsports machine, Jack William Miller starting on the pole. Miller and Grandforce on row 1. De Alba and Pizzi row 2. Rowe and Denmark row 3. D'Orlando and Brown row 4. Weir and Lee row 5. Porto and Escoto on row 6. Monteiro Garg row 7. Sundaramurthy and Brewer row 8. Ushijima and Missig on row number 9. A number of drivers I think have the potential pace to come from deeper in the field to make things exciting. Very similar to what we just saw out of USF 2000, a bigger field, add a couple more drivers. We'll stack things up. They're quicker, more downforce, 80 more horsepower, as I said. They carry so much speed into the corners. You're not breaking into these corners. You're literally lifting, letting the car take a set and rolling back onto the throttle. You have to trust the car. You have to trust the downforce. And you got to take care of the tires. So much more horsepower. We've talked about, you look at some of the races from years past, drivers will start to lose the rear tires. They'll punish them trying to run the low line. You've got to be smart with the tires. It is a tire management race to a certain extent if you're aggressive running the bottom line. 18 gorgeous Tatis race cars for you. The IP22. Same basic carbon monocoque tub as the USF 2000 car, but as I say, the differences are simply more of everything. More tire, more downforce, more horsepower, more braking capability. Now this track, they are going to hustle it around. Again, lots of storylines to follow here. As we know, Miles Rowe comes in with the point lead, 39 points ahead. That's more than a full race in terms of points. The most points you can get on a road course race is 33. 30 for the win, 1 for pole, 1 for leading the most laps, and 1 for fastest lap of the race. This race, though, points and a half. That's the key. 45 points for the win. So this thing could be blown wide open. Engines firing down on pit lane. Over 4,000 horsepower rolling off pit lane. Drivers trying to build a little heat in the tires. Again, those opening laps, they're going to get 2 warm-up laps, and we're going to let them loose. They'll get this 1 warm-up lap around. They'll try to get these heat built into the tires. Again, look for Jordan Missing from deep in the field. He put a smoking first lap in the books in qualifying and got just lost the rear end of the car coming through 3 and 4. I think he may have been on a flyer that could have put him at least in the top 2 rows. Instead, he'll start at the tail of the field. I think he'll be a driver to watch quickly. Jordan seems to have a good feel for this 5/8 mile oval. But Jack William Miller, the pressure of Indiana on him right now. He needs that win. He has not yet won in USF Pro Championship competition. Did his time in USF 2000, came so close. There's been podiums, but he hasn't got that victory yet. Would this be the day for Jack William Miller? But I'll tell you, Joel Grandforce coming off a victory in Indianapolis as well. Remember, that car won last year with Louis Foster. Exclusive Autosport and John Hayes, their engineer, have a great hot rod. Pace car has gone in. See if the field can get up to position. I don't know that we're going to go green this time by because we have so many drivers still coming into position. No, yeah, we are not going green. No green, no green. They were simply too quick up the front, so no green. One more time around. Jack William Miller didn't slow him up enough coming onto the back straightaway. He waited to slow all the way down to near the end. Oh, no, there's contact. De Alba literally just got into the back of Miller. Miller got on the gas. Oh, that was not good. De Alba potential. Wonder if he's got any kind of front wing damage. Because he got on the gas, then Miller jumped on the brakes. See if I can't have a look here because he made big contact. You never know. Is there a gearbox potential issue for Miller? They're finally in position. This is a quick start. Miller looking to go green. This could be an interesting start here, folks. Out of the corner. Freedom 90 is green, green, green. Big moves down into turn number 1. De Alba going to the bottom. He swallows up Grandforce. Big run around the outside for Pizzi. And here comes De Alba. He's going to go to the inside. De Alba's going to try to take the lead, and he does. They're side by side coming through. Cold tires. De Alba goes to the bottom. He's going to get by. Book it. He goes to P1. And check out the speed difference of these cars to USF 2000. These cars are booking it. Out of turn number 2 again. De Alba, super aggressive on the start. He'll go to P1. Here comes Pizzi. He'll go to the bottom of the racetrack on Miller. Pizzi side by side. They're side by side further back as well. Denmark and Grandforce. Joel Granforce caught out a little bit by the start, but Salvador de Alba is going to the lead. Miller into second. Pizzi, though, putting a ton of pressure on Jack William Miller. Rocketing down the back straightaway. 90 lapper for you here to cap off this year's Carb Night Classic. Here's this battle here right now for second. Pizzi on the bottom. Jack William Miller on the top. We saw a lot of this already, did we not? Elliot Cox and Max Garcia going at it like this. Pizzi staying on the bottom. Got to watch your tires there if you can't get the job done. Yeah, he's going to potentially tuck back in. That's probably a better idea. Jack William Miller trying to settle back in. He got challenged pretty aggressively by Pizzi. Joel Granforce settling into the fourth position. Here comes Michael D'Orlando. He's making some moves here. Started in seventh. D'Orlando trying to get by Denmark. He's side by side with Jace Denmark. I think he gets it done. Not quite. Not able to cover. And look at this. Denmark going to run around the outside on him. Denmark around the outside. But D'Orlando looks good to the bottom. It's tough, though. He's just trying to see if he can't clear him. Oh, they're so close. Oh, wow. Side by side into one. Jace Denmark nicely up top. Making it work. Forward bite. Big wire. Arc around the corner. Easier on the tires. Field streaming through. I talked about Jordan Missing. How about 11th for Jordan Missing already? 8 laps in. I like it when a driver makes me look good because I knew Missing got a good hot rod. He is already really attacking this race. As is D'Orlando trying now to get by Denmark. You know, it's one of those deals when he gets by, you know he's going to be able to start chasing down Granforce, but just can't seem to clear him. So close. And this is when you're really using your spotter. The spotter's got to say if you're clear or not, and you got to trust your spotter on it. Now, you're looking in your mirrors for sure, but you're waiting for that spotter to say, hey, you're clear. You drift that thing out to the wall on the outside of the corners. D'Orlando just not quite there yet. And Denmark doing a great job. Look how close it is. Oh, this time he comes across. Denmark going to cross him. Yeah, this will be it. D'Orlando's going to get a run here. Let's see if Denmark can come back at him. Oh! Do you see the wheel spin coming out? Back of the cars, stepped out on D'Orlando. All the experience he's had in USF 2000 is what allowed him to stay on the racetrack. Pass finally done. Sometimes it takes 1-2 laps to complete the pass. He's now on the top side. Got a length on Denmark. And away goes D'Orlando now to try to close in on Granforce. De Alba's lead, only 0.7 of a second now. He's not been able to pull away. In fact, last time by, all 3 of the drivers up front turning 21-2s. That's some good racing further back. They're side by side, the 2 Jay Howard cars. Wow. Side by side. Ricardo Escoto and Reese Usajima. That is 14th and 15th. Right behind them, Bajoy Garg, Lindsey Brewer, Nicholas Monteiro. That is literally 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, right there. Jay Howard drivers running 1-2, or rather nose to tail. Again, 14th, 15th. Both these drivers on the podium. And almost a spin there for Usajima. Trying to work the bottom of the racetrack, and the rear end almost got away, but quick hands able to save that one. As Bajoy Garg there to watch it. Back up front, De Alba's lead shrinking just a little bit. Miller closing up ever so slightly. "15 laps down. Not even a quarter distance yet. Final race of the night for the Carb Night Classic. Again, shout out to those of you who are tuning in on the USF Pro Championships YouTube channel, or potentially USFPro2000.com, or on the mobile app. Again, an international field here, so we know we have people tuning in from around the world. De Alba's lead about a half a second. Let's get back to the leaders. Here they are. That's the lead between first and second right now. Salvador De Alba, he's a veteran driver. Won last year Worldwide Technology Raceway on the oval. I have a feeling he's kind of settling in here right now. Let's see if Jack William Miller does have anything for him. Again, De Alba's going to start rolling up on some lap traffic in a little bit. Not quite yet. They're actually just rolling down the back straightaway now. The field really closely matched in terms of pace. Oftentimes we'll see leaders, lap cars 15, 16 laps in, but we're already 18. And big gap still to the tail of the field. Salvador De Alba, driver out of Mexico. The Archangel Red Cola Meccano Z Motors machine. As I said, a veteran, no stranger to oval racing either, even though he's done a lot of Formula Car racing in his career. Also runs in the NASCAR Mexico Series, the NASCAR Super Copa Series down in Mexico, or the Mexican Super Copa and the NASCAR Mexico Series. Finished the race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on Saturday of the road course week and immediately flew home to Mexico to race that night. That event, it got started. It ended up getting rain delayed. He finished it off the next day. So going back and forth between the oval and his Formula Car, both worlds melding here at IRP. Just turned the fast lap of the race as well. Actually, no, his fast lap on lap number 5, 21.077. He was about a tenth quicker than Miller last time by. So right now, De Alba really kind of just maintaining things. And that's the key up front. Hold a gap of a half a second or more. Full second to be a little more comfortable, but then manage your tires, manage the gap. De Alba is your leader. Miller second, Pizzi third, Grand Force in fourth, D'Orlando in fifth. Sixth is Denmark, seventh Miles Rowe, eighth Jonathan Brown, ninth Christian Weir, 10th Jordan Missig to 10th, 18th to 10th. Last time by Missig. We'll watch those laps. We'll see if he's close enough on Weir. He's actually not that far behind Christian Weir, less than a second. But this is the leader again, out of 2. Down that back straightaway. Now they're going to start thinking about closing up on some of the lap cars. Nicholas Monteiro and Lindsey Brewer will be the first to get there, but both those drivers still running very good lap times. De Alba at 21.4, and Brewer and Monteiro. Brewer only just over a half second off of the pace laid down by De Alba. So to start testing, I think Lindsay might have been like about 2 seconds off her first session. She just kept chopping it down. Almost a half a second back. That's it for Lindsey Brewer. That's her there in the C4 Smart Energy machine for Exclusive Autosport. Just an absolutely fantastic young lady, and great to have her in our program. Well-spoken. I've had a chance to actually follow Lindsay's career for many years, running back in the top levels of shifter kart racing, the Superkarts USA program, Stars of Karting program. She's been racing for many years, and we're thrilled to have her in our program, and she just keeps getting better and better. The experience she's getting every race we're at. Same goes for Nicholas Monteiro behind her. The brand new team, Neotech Motorsports. Both these drivers gaining crucial experience here throughout these last couple of days. Of course, all the teams spent some time testing here before the season. There was actually, I believe, a couple of teams tested the Monday after the road course race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But on Thursday, both these drivers getting a ton of laps in. And this is Monteiro going to the bottom. Aggressive move. Lindsay going to try to cross him over. Now Monteiro's going to get the spot. Here comes De Alba now. The key for these drivers, hold your position. Run the line you've been running the entire time. De Alba will get a run. You got to expect Lindsay may give a little bit more room for her teammate De Alba. Salvador getting some air on the wing. A little bit lower on the racetrack. This is definitely going to allow Miller to close up a little bit because Lindsay's pretty quick still, like I said. And De Alba's going to go to the bottom. He gets by. Jack William Miller now going to try to get by. And this has been a good pass there for De Alba. He stretched things out a bit. In fact, here comes Pizzi. And here comes Grand Force as well. Jack William Miller getting held up a bit here by not even held up yet. She's still running 2-3 car lengths ahead of Jack William. He'll think about the bottom. Didn't quite time it. Here comes Pizzi. He's more than happy to try to take full advantage of this. Waiting for that pick. He'll go to the bottom. Pizzi's right there as well. Grand Force is going to get to run the top still. Pizzi loses the wing. Miller by. Grand Force now to the top of the racetrack. He's going to see if he can't use his teammate Brewer to get some draft. And he does. But at this point, not going to be able to get the pick done. Brewer doing a great job to run her line. Pizzi rolls up. Here comes to the bottom, Grand Force. Ho-ho! Well done by all three of those drivers. Grand Force now going to work trying to get on the podium. Joel Grand Force, fourth place in the points. Pizzi in third. You go down to De Alba back in the 9th position. This is going to be big for Salvador De Alba and Jack Miller. They're 9th and 10th. Both these drivers potentially looking to benefit as Miles Rowe runs 7th. D'Orlando still P5, but he was a half a second faster than the leader last time by. But again, that's lap traffic. Oh, look at this. Bijoy Garg, Nicholas Monteiro. Miller's going to take advantage. De Alba to the bottom. A ton of lap traffic. Oh, De Alba can't quite get it done there, running the mid part of the racetrack. Miller just gets a big run. They get by Bijoy Garg, I think, at the same time as Monteiro able to get by Garg. Monteiro having a good run here now. He's going to try to get by. So this is an issue for De Alba because he's got Monteiro trying to pass a Scotto. They're still allowed to race. And indeed, Monteiro gets by a Scotto. The Scotto pitching down a bit on De Alba. Hold your line. And Pizzi's going around as well. Look at Pizzi to the top side. He's got the diver to the bottom. Oh, Pizzi's going to try to get it. Oh, and he gets picked. So close. Jack Miller. Oh, down the bottom comes Grand Force. He'll go by. Joel Grand Force to the bottom takes full advantage. He gets by Pizzi for P3. Escoto still racing hard. Pizzi sends it into the bottom. He'll check up. So Joel Grand Force goes to third. And in fact, Jack William Miller almost got shuffled back. Pizzi, instead of going to second, ends up going back to fourth. Finally able to get by Escoto. Huh. Good stuff. 38 laps down. 52 still to go. Lap traffic definitely making things interesting. Pizzi now to the bottom. He's going to try to get back by Grand Force. That's a good scrap. Grand Force will pinch him down, crisscross and go to the bottom of the track. Good line there for Grand Force, who's really learning the techniques of the oval here. De Alba, Miller, all with experience on the ovals. Grand Force and Pizzi know. D'Orlando, as we know, two-time winner here in USF 2000. P5. He's loving the fact that these drivers are battling, but he's got to get clear of Escoto himself. And Escoto's not making it easy at all. There's D'Orlando there. He finally gets by Escoto. We'll see what he adds with open racetrack and more lap cars. Miles Rowe up into sixth. He was able to get by his teammate Jace Denmark. So Miles Rowe, good job up to P6. He's now trying to work his way by Escoto. That might actually be Ushijima at this point. Yeah, I struggle to pick up the numbers on these Jay Howard cars. I think that's a 4. Well, for those of you just wondering, I don't have a big screen. Working off a production screen. Maybe 10 by 14. Not as easy to pick it up, especially with these aging eyes. Pizzi not done to try to get back around Grand Force, but man, you sure his spotter's in his head saying, you got a great race car, because he was so close to getting second away from Miller. Just got picked up on top. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. Because De Alba's not pulled away. It's 0.4 of a second. There they are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. De Alba, Miller, Grand Force, Pizzi. And who will be the next driver? Is it Monteiro they still have not got by yet? What a great run here for Nicholas Monteiro. He remains on the lead lap. Monteiro's driven his way up into 15th and is still putting great lap times down. Last time by 21.58. He was faster than Jack William Miller last time by. I'm really happy for the Neotech guys here. They deserve that. They've been working hard to learn this race car. And having a good run here now. Even though he's 15th, he's well back. The speed is there. The leader has not yet been able to get by Nicholas Monteiro. That's a great thing for this young driver out of Brazil. There's De Alba. Okay, let's have a look at this again. This time by. Let's have a look at the lap times. 21.6 for De Alba. Okay, lap 47, 21.5. Monteiro, 21.5. Monteiro quicker than the leader. Quicker than everybody. In fact, Monteiro may have had the fastest lap last time by at one point. Now he backed. Yeah, where is he this time? Yeah, 51.504. That last lap, he was the fastest driver on the racetrack. Nicholas Monteiro. I love it. P15. He gets by Bajoy Garg. Now he's set out to try to reel in Risu Shijima. 4 seconds back. Everybody getting a good feel here, setting into a nice pace midway through. Past the past the halfway point. 49 laps down. 40 laps to go next time by. Salvador De Alba was aggressive at the start. Was able to get a good run down the bottom. Worked his way around Jack William Miller, pushed hard. Had some help from Grand Force and Pete C to really get in there and elbows up. And has maintained this kind of half a second lead. Working his way through lap traffic. Laps ticking away. Rather 21 6s, 21 7s. D'Orlando 21-4. Michael D'Orlando still putting down really good laps. Couple of tenths of a second. 3.5 back from the leader, 1.6 from Pizzi. Still what? 38 laps to go. I don't want to count out D'Orlando, but there's Pizzi and the TJ Speed Machine. He's had a good season as well. It's been great having Francesco here. Such a great character. A lot of charisma. Young driver out of Italy. It's been a good season, too. Really consistent. Only one podium, third in round number 1 at Sebring, but every race top 11, but top 7 in 5 of the 6 races. This guy is impressive. A win is just around the corner for Francesco Pizzi. I'm going to say that right now. Out of Rome, Italy, Ville Mercede, Shaka Spirit, Roscioli Hotels, number 55. Miles Rowe trying to reel in D'Orlando last time by. He and Rowe both 21 6s. Looks like he's closing a little bit. D'Orlando trying to see if he can't reel in Pizzi. Pizzi strong. Gap still just over half a second. Salvador De Alba knocking it out. There is Miles Rowe. He is your point leader coming in. 39 points up. Had a big run of races. Won 3 in a row. Third in the opening round at St. Petersburg for Miles Rowe. Then went on a win streak. Won the second race at St. Pete. Dominated the action at Sebring. 10th and 5th at Indianapolis. Did not have a great Indianapolis road course weekend. Grand Force less than a second behind Jack William Miller. He would love to get up to P2 again. Grand Force trying to get himself back in the championship discussion, right? P4 coming in, but just 3 points behind Pizzi and 5 points behind Porto. a second place run, even as they run right now. I'll grab my points possibility chart here and have a look at what we could potentially get here. Grand Force in third brings them to 128 points. Porto currently running in 11th. Yeah, that's definitely going to move Grand Force. This could get him up into second. Because Pizzi's running fourth. Yeah, as they run, yeah, as they finish here, Grand Force, if they finish the way they are right now, Grand Force would go to second in points. And he'd make up some ground on Miles Rowe as well. Remember, points and a half, but Pizzi's going to work. These drivers separated by just 3 points in the championship fight right now. Grand Force and Pizzi. Sweden versus Italy. And they're going to roll back up here again on Lindsey Brewer. They've had a chance to get a feel for lap traffic now. Big dive down to the bottom. Nice move there. That was well timed for Grand Force because Pizzi wasn't close enough. And he's got to pinch the bottom. Wow. It's really remarkable to me sometimes when you see how quickly these drivers will learn, right? This is really their second opportunity to pass and lap some of the slower cars. And to do it like that, to make that lunge, knowing that you're going to be able to pin the driver behind you further back. And this is, again, look at Grand Force, how close he is to Jack William Miller now. Race number 2 in Indianapolis, the last event on the season, just a little over a week ago, was exclusive Autosport 1-2 Grand Force over De Alba at Indianapolis. Can Grand Force make it another 1-2 here? He's going to go to the inside of Miller. Lap starting to wind down, and he does. He's to the bottom of the racetrack, and they've got a lap car there. He's going to hold him up. What a pass for Grand Force. Book it. He's through to second. One of those metallic raspberry Corpay colors, the team sponsor for exclusive. Grand Force, quick learner. Can he reel in De Alba? Oh, we got ourselves an inter-team battle now. Miller goes back to third, and here comes Pizzi. Yeah, you wonder if Miller potentially burned the tires off. Here comes Pizzi. Miller running third, Pizzi in fourth, Rowe up to fifth. Rowe was able to get by D. Orlando. So Miles Rowe to P5. Damage control. Oh, mid-cool. Exit wiggle. When you got wheel in it and you just lose the rear a bit, these quick hands keep these drivers out of the wall. Pizzi wants P3. He wants the podium. Well, look out, here comes Miles Rowe. He's coming. Miles Rowe's on a tear right now. And Jordan Missing up tonight. I want to shout out to Jordan Missing and Yuvan Sundaramurthy. Missing from 18th to 9th. What a drive for Jordan. But this is a fight for the lead right now, folks. This is De Alba and Grand Force. 23 laps to go. They're finally going to see if they can't get by Monteiro. Grand Force right there on his teammate. Little wiggle. Again, correction coming out of 4 for De Alba. Monteiro's been on the lead lap still, has not given it up. He's running 14th. This time to the bottom. Here comes De Alba. He's going to make a lunge on him this time. And we'll dive it into the corner. And good for Monteiro. Oh, Monteiro. Almost. Grand Force thought about trying the bottom. And thought better of it. Wise. More lap cars to come. Jackson Lee will be next. He's running in 13th. De Alba, Grand Force, Miller, Pizzi, Rowe. Top 5. D. Orlando 6th, Brown 7th, Weir 8th, Missing 9th, and Sundaramurthy 10th. And we may have ourselves a battle for the lead. De Alba goes to the inside on Jackson Lee. And he's going to clear him coming out of the corner. That's a time when there's a lap car, when the guy goes by you, you just want to breathe the throttle a little bit. Give him that room. There's no sense in potentially causing an incident. If he's by you and he's going to clear you, breathe a little bit, let it happen. You're better to bring it home where you are. There's the gap between first and second, about 4/10. Grand Force got close. You wonder whether De Alba maybe had a little bit left in the tank, but he's done a good job with lap traffic. 19 to go. He'll get a big run down the straightaway. And able to clear the Jay Howard car quickly. Ushijima, I believe. Yeah, it's been a good run for Miles Rowe as well. Even though he started 5th, he went back to, I want to say 8th at one point, potentially 7th or 8th. He has battled his way back forward. Peetsy's going to get to the inside now. This is that battle for 3rd. Final spot of the podium. Jack William Miller wants to keep it on the podium. But Peetsy's shown aggression, controlled aggression, albeit. Again, like I said, I'm just always so impressed with how these drivers pick up this unique discipline. A tight oval like this. Lead now down to less than 4/10, just a little less than 4/10 as Grand Force again trying to close back up. It's all about timing up the lap traffic. I think both these drivers, they look to me like they're very similar in terms of pace. It's just handling the lap traffic perfectly now. $15 laps to go next time by. 75 in the books of the Freedom 90. Cooper Tires, of course, the presenting sponsor. Again, all these drivers racing to try to win that scholarship, that Discount Tire Driver Advancement Scholarship Program. $664,500 a scholarship to move to Indy next in 2024. De Alba putting a good lap in there. Again, open racetrack for these drivers right now. In fact, let me have a quick look. Jace Denmark diving to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to get out of the way. Denmark now running, I believe. Oh, he's at the very tail. There's been an issue with Jace Denmark. He's been in pit lane and back. Didn't see what happened, but he's about 15 laps back. So I think Jace Denmark made a pit and came back out. This is his fight for P3. Look at Peetsy. Oh, you know, they're on the throttle so early. You're off the throttle, right back on it. And as you're still at that throttle pin, and the car's just, as you got wheel in it, it wants to get away from you. And Peetsy's been very good at managing that so far. Jack William Miller coming up again here. Got to make that move on Lindsey Brewer. Has been very strong. She's just been good. Keeping that line. 10 laps to go this time by for De Alba and Grand Force. They're trying to go back-to-back exclusive Autosport 1-2s. That would be big time for that team who won the championship last year with Louis Foster. Peetsy trying to rebound. Yellow flag. We got a yellow. Quick look around the racetrack, and I believe that might have been Christian Weir spinning, and he has made contact with the wall. Yeah, you can see the tire marks here. 10 laps to go, and I wonder if this could this could potentially end this race. This yellow could end the race under yellow because Christian Weir in the 32 has walled it. And with left rear damage like that, possibility that he got into the corner and did the 360. To see the left rear damage like that, you have to think he got into the corner, lost the rear, spun it back around, and likely backed it in on that left side. AMR USF Pro Championship safety team there. Talking to Christian right now, make sure he's okay. The rain light's still on, so I don't think it looked to me like a left rear diagonal impact. And again, the drivers are going to work around here now, and this could be a possibility of ending under yellow. I just don't know that they're going to be able to get, especially because Christian's not quite out of the car yet. They're still having a quick chat with him. And, they're probably maybe taking a little more time. Christian actually, a couple of years ago, running an F4 car at the Circuit of the Americas when they had those big sausage curbs up. The sausage curbs which drew the ire of the Formula One drivers after seeing what happened to a couple of the F4 drivers. Christian was one of the drivers who went hard over top of that sausage curb, and the impact coming back down actually damaged his back quite a bit. Had to wear a back brace for quite a bit of time. So you're always worried potentially of that happening again. They'll get the head surround off him and get in there and potentially get him out. So again, you got to think he may be complaining a bit of the back with that contact. But yeah, laps ticking away, 8 to go. crew taking their time with Christian Weir. And again, I can just kind of reiterating the past history of the injury that he had. Hopefully we'll be able to get him out of the car and nothing will be too bad. Helmet's already up, great sign, and here he comes, yeah. Folks, he's getting out of the car. Please, yeah, a round of applause for Christian Weir. Hard hitting the wall, coming out of 4, but able to get out of the car and take a breather. And listen, we've all had that hit playing sports where you've got the wind knocked out of you. Think about backing the wall in when you're cruising around that corner, probably about 100 and maybe 105 mile an hour, and you end up backing it in like that. So yellow flag, of course, full course around the racetrack, 83 laps in. And I'll tell you, if we're able to go back to one green flag lap, it'll be because of this AMR safety crew. They are the best in the business. I just don't know, because Christian Weir is not running over the... Yeah, they're actually going to bring the stretcher out for him. I would not be surprised if they get a neck brace or the backboard on him, just to make sure. Weir for TJ Speed was having a pretty good run as well. Top, I want to say he was running, I think, 8th. It was a good run for Christian. And I'll tell you, another driver, I mentioned Nicholas Montero showing a lot of improvement from the start of the season. Even though we're just, again, our 4th event of the year, you just see the drivers pick up so much. Christian's one of those drivers as well who really has, running with TJ Speed, Tim Neff's team, teammate Francesco Pizzi, really has started picking things up. We've been seeing him top 10 everywhere we've gone. We're going to cross our fingers he's going to be all right. Yeah, you can see him talking. That's good. And again, as we all know, folks, anytime you complain of a back injury, you just give that a little extra, right? We want him, you got to watch that. We obviously got word as well that Stephen Wilson, who had the incident at the Speedway, if you watch social media, had his surgery done and is on the mend, which is great news for that tremendous driver and gentleman. Well, the tow truck's coming in, and we'll get this thing up. I did see a bit of speedy drive being used to potentially clean up, again, a rear impact like that through into the gearbox. Good opportunity for some gearbox oil to get out of that gearbox as well. This race, man, I'll tell you, Salvador de Alba, aggressive at the start, then the passing. Joel Granforce getting by Pizzi, and then Miller, and then Miles Rowe coming forward. D'Orlando was a star early on. Jordan Missick, man. 8th spot now for Jordan, bumping up a position with Christian's incident here. He started 18th, folks. One of the things they say a lot about this racetrack when it comes to our race cars, it is hard to pass. Everybody knows how tough it is to pass. Jordan from 18th to 8th could be the drive of the day. Yeah, folks, I'll tell you this. I'm not feeling like we're going back to green flag racing. There's just work to be done here still. You never know. But we continue to circulate under the yellow. And unlike USAC, we do count our yellow flag laps. So the car's leaving. The ambulance containing Christian Weir will head into the infield. AMR IndyCar safety crew having a look at the racetrack itself. They'll come back here to put lap number 88 in the books. I guess we could have a one-lap dash. That's a possibility. So hold on. Do we get one more? I don't know. We'd have to go green next time by, and no, the AMR safety crew is still out there. I just don't think they're going to be able to get off the racetrack quick enough for that pace car to dive in. They're trying. The pace car's slowing up. It'll be lap number 89 coming around. We may. Yeah, I think we're going to be able to go green. Let's see. No, pace car lights are still on. We came up, I think, just short from potentially getting a one lap dash because lap number 89 is going to go in the books next time by. Incident obviously cleared. White flag flying. And ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a winner. Salvador de Alba is going to win the Freedom 90. Exclusive Autosport back-to-back jacks in the Freedom 90 and another 1-2. Joel Granforce in second. And I guarantee you that team will be pumped down there as well. Checker flag will be thrown this time by for Salvador de Alba. In fact, for him as well, back-to-back oval wins in this category. One last year at Worldwide Technology Raceway. And he will win here at IRP as well. So many great storylines through this race. I'll tell you, the AMR crew did the best they could to see if they could give us a single lap dash. But they do not, and the Mexican driver, Salvador de Alba, wins. The team out to the wall to cheer him on. Exclusive Autosport 1-2 with Salvador de Alba and Joel Granforce. Salvador, impressive early. Joel did the work for the remainder of the race. Whew. Jack William Miller holding on to the podium. The pressure from Francesco Pizzi was intense. But Jack William Miller will be on the podium in third. Francesco Pizzi in the fourth spot. Miles Rowe ends up fifth. Sixth, Michael D'Orlando, seventh, as the Exclusive Autosport crew celebrating. Got a couple guys down there, I think, celebrating birthdays as well. A couple of the crew guys having their birthdays today. Well, that's a big one for De Alba, man. He needed that victory. This is really going to shake things up in the points, although a good run for Miles Rowe to P5. Let's put it that way. Miles Rowe started fifth, ended up fifth, went back and got himself back forward. That's big for him. Drivers will work their way in here. Three of them are going to stop right essentially at the start-finish line. Yeah, De Alba, he's pumped. Team owner Michael Duncalf right there. Back-to-back wins for the team. Granforce a couple of weeks ago, De Alba this time. If you're a IndyCar Champ Car fan, Michel Jourdain, the mentor and spotter for Salvador de Alba. Jourdain, of course, a well-respected driver, ton of talent in his own right. A lot of great success for Jourdain. Working with this young Mexican talent that could be the next Mexican star in the NTT IndyCar Series as well. Yeah, look at de Alba. See that little fist bump, I just thought, yeah, I needed that. This is when it always soaks in, right? Engineer Bud Wilkinson. Give him a shout out. Give you a full-filled rundown. Will these drivers get weighed again? Salvador de Alba with the win. Joel Granforce in second. Jack William Miller third. That's your podium. Francesco Pizzi and Miles Rowe capping off the top five. Michael D'Orlando ends up in sixth. Seventh, Jonathan Brown. Eighth, Jordan Missig. From 18th to 8th for Jordan. What a drive. Yuven Sooner Amurli great as well. 15th up into 9th. Sixth position improvement for Yuven. Kiko Porto in 10th spot. Risu Shijima soldiered on. Did a great job. He ends up in 11th. Jackson Lee 12th. Nicholas Monteiro. What a great drive for him. Monteiro kept fighting. Not to the very end did he go down a lap. Great job for the Neotech pilot. He ends up 13th. Bajoigard 14th. Ricardo Escoto in 15th. Lindsey Brewer 16th spot. Christian Weir, of course, out, and as was Jace Denmark. Denmark had an issue, ends up being 15 laps down. I believe finished the race, but had to pit for some kind of a repair. There's the team down there enjoying themselves. That is, of course, Salvador de Alba and Joel Granforst and team owner Michael Duncalf. Again, back-to-back P1, P2s. Sweep of first and second. They did it on the road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and they go P1 and P2 here on this fantastic oval, the legendary Indianapolis Raceway Park. Get that podium in here so we can have some fun. 10:30, not too bad. A lot of racing on the docket throughout the day. Hope you enjoyed the Hoosier 100. The midgets put on a show for sure. And these USF Pro Championship drivers. Just one yellow flag each race. One for mechanical in USF 2000. And we got close to doing the entire race in the pros. But again, that's a little yellow there for Christian Weir. Looped it, 360'd into the wall. Left rear damage. And we're hoping, of course, to hear the best news from Christian that his back is going to be okay. Obviously a hit. The AMR safety crew taking full precautions to make sure he was okay. Getting things dialed in here now as we wrap it up. USF Pro Championships program back next weekend for the USF Juniors, the very first rung of this ladder system. They run at Virginia International Raceway next weekend. 3 weeks' time, USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000 back on track at the legendary Road America, the iconic facility, America's National Park of Speed in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. These cars really get to stretch their legs at that racetrack. Always a good show. Event still coming in Toronto, Mid-Ohio. Circuit of the Americas for the Pro 2000 drivers, and the finale for USF 2000 and Pro 2000 Labor Day weekend at Portland International Raceway in the Pacific Northwest. Just getting the final touches done on the podium. We'll cap things off here. Again, those of you who have tuned into the broadcast, thrilled to have you with us. How about this international podium, too? Mexico, Sweden, and America. Jack William Miller, great job for him. We've had some great racing at this particular facility over the last couple of decades. But I'll tell you, tonight was really solid. A bunch of great one-on-one races all the way through the field. Lap cars did a good job staying out of trouble. Okay, just the one incident with Christian Weir in terms of an actual wreck itself. Waiting for the call to fire up from down on pit lane. We'll get things rolling. Again, all three of these drivers ready to get up on the podium to get things underway. Salvador de Alba, big victory for him, as we said, Miles Rowe P5, but everybody kind of up front there able to gain a little bit of a point on him, which is crucial, I think, when you think about the long-term run for the championship at Portland. $664,000 up for grabs for the champion. Yeah, you're going to be fighting for every point you possibly can. Celebrations, of course, already underway on the other side there. We haven't got them even up on the podium yet, and the crews are there having some fun. All right, folks, I think we're ready. Down on pit lane here for the victory celebrations. Let's start with the driver, folks, coming home in third spot. He's an Indiana boy. Put your hands together for Jack William Miller, P3. finishing in second. Winner a couple of weeks ago at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He's a winner, or they're a second-place finisher here at IRP. Great run for Exclusive Autosport. Joel Grandforce coming home second. And we're going to see the Mexican flag fly when this thing's all said and done. The driver taking the lead from the start and then going all the way to the end. First win of the season from Exclusive Autosport. The winner, Salvador de Alba. Three very talented race car drivers, all with a focus of trying to get to the Indy Next program in 2024. Again, you always say this. These are the drivers you're going to see in the Indianapolis 500 in the next number of years. And again, thrilled to see it happen. Again, the drivers you see in the 500, Kirkwood, DeFrancesco, Daly, Newgarden, Malukas, Stingray Robb, all part of this program. Marinas VK. Man, we had some great racing, did we not? Every time we come to Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park, we are lining ourselves up for some heated battles. We had an oval clinic on Thursday morning where we had some distinguished guests talk to these drivers about the way to race here, some of the intricacies of running an oval like this, because they've never done it before, and maybe only in testing and on the simulator. But a lot of the stuff that was discussed at that oval clinic by some esteemed guests on that panel, I could really see it happen on the racetrack here, and I'm really happy with that. This was about everything we could ask for. We're hoping, of course, that Christian Weir's going to be okay after that incident. Shaken up for sure from the contact in turn number 4. But these drivers put on a show, no doubt about it. Here comes that victory champagne, and they're going to deserve that. And again, folks, here we go. Time to have some fun. Guys, grab that champagne, grip it, and rip it. The champagne will fly. And again, Salvador de Alba with the victory. He's going after his teammate. This guy knows how to. He's sprayed some champagne before. They always say if you're on the podium, act like you've been there before. De Alba ends up with the win. Joel Grandforce in second, and Jack William Miller holding on to a P3 podium spot. Great job for the Carmel, Indiana driver. But that's going to wrap things up here, folks, from the Carb Night Classic. Thank you so much for being here throughout the evening, and thank you for those of you who are tuning into the broadcast. Great to have you guys with us along for the ride, because this was a fantastic night. The weather was absolutely perfect over a couple of days. None of the rain that had plagued us over the last couple of events. This was just good racing, flat, plain, and simple. Awesome job for the drivers of the USF Pro Championships. On behalf of everybody that was in the broadcast booth with USAC Racing this evening, of course, the legendary Pat Sullivan, of course, as well. I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much, folks, and all the good folks from the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Thank you for your hospitality. Awesome night, folks. Thank you so much for being part of the Carb Night Classic. My name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.